Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to ShootOut. This is not the video that we wanted to make. Unfortunately today I have to break you the news that it is actually possible that Tottenham Hotspur can win the Premier League. I'm hoping by the end of this recording session, Eunice and I have managed to dispel any of these rumours, any of these possibilities. We can defy the laws of probability to explain why this isn't going to happen. But unfortunately, the topic still exists. Tottenham Hotspur could win the Premier League, Eunice, couldn't they? Or am I being just outrageously redonkulous with this statement here at the beginning of this video? Tell me I'm wrong, please.
I want to say you're completely wrong. I want to say this is a complete impossibility. It's never going to happen. However, what we're seeing is just what we're seeing, and that's the truth, and that's the absolute truth, because that's the result and how Tottenham have been playing. They've been nothing short of exceptional. 10 games into the Premier League season, so we are already past the quarter way mark and approaching a third of the Premier League season done, and near enough on the brink of it. We are already seeing, out of a possible 30 points, Tottenham have accumulated 26. That's just, it's unheard of for a team like Tottenham. It's unheard of. Tottenham right now should be at best, where Villa or Newcastle are in 5th and 6th. You know, that is where we expect Tottenham to navigate. But they are absolutely flying. 4 wins on the bounce. They still haven't lost. They've conceded one of the fewest in the entire league, and they've scored. They're up there. They've got the highest, or one of the highest goal differences at the moment. They are absolutely flying. So I've got nothing but praise to give Tottenham, and that's crazy as a Chelsea fan. I don't want to, but I have to be honest. They are absolutely brilliant. And under Big Ange, who's come in and no one's expected him, me included. He was linked to the Chelsea job at one point. We remember this. And we were like, who? Big Ange? Who's this guy? Postecoglou? What? Credit to him, because he's come into Tottenham and he's just got them playing exactly how he wants them to play. In an instant, without even getting too many players in, and he's just made it work. So it's quite unbelievable, really.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some theories as to why, but I think just to give some context, I'll give some individual stats here for you lot. Heung-min Son is the joint second highest goal scorer in the league individually with 8 goals. James Maddison is the 3rd highest assister with 5 assists. Christian Romero has got the 4th most passes in the league, which goes to show individually across the field there, you've got a defender, you've got a midfielder, and you've got an attacker coming up. And also the goalkeeper, Vicario, has kept as many clean sheets as anybody else in the league as well. That is the whole spine there of a team that are delivering numbers individually that are right at the top of all of the lists right now statistically in the league, which is massive. But I think for me, the biggest thing that I can see at Spurs, and I mean, I was always going to bring up the fans, the Robbie Williams song, all of this stuff. The togetherness right now is something that at Tottenham I think has kind of been, there's always been like this animosity between the fans and the owners. Maybe the fans and the managers, for whatever reason, they've kind of been like the last ones to get Mourinho or the last ones to get Conte, and by that point they're kind of washed up in the Premier League, whatever. Ange Postecoglou has come in from Celtic, won things, has this ridiculous home record, has got all of these little things that have been slowly building up him as a manager. You've then got everybody else in the Premier League thinking, like, what are Tottenham going to do when they get a manager coming from Celtic? But amongst all of that, Tottenham have just gone there, Ange has gone in there, and he's been like, right, okay, we've just lost the main man. We've lost the captain. We've lost the top goal scorer every bloody year. But let me tell you this, Tottenham are more than Harry Kane. And we didn't believe it. No one could have seen it coming. But in a heartbeat, in an instant, he has managed to galvanise a club that were looking as though we're destined for what right now is Chelsea's kind of level of mediocrity. And he's just brought them all together, and it's working. And I think for me, that is the biggest thing. Their energy at Tottenham right now, that is what momentum means. You know, we were speaking in yesterday's video. You asked me the question about what is the difference between Ange coming in at Spurs Pochettino coming in at Chelsea, the energy was dead at Tottenham. And all of a sudden, he's just managed to bring it all together. Whereas at Chelsea, there was immediate optimism, but then at the same time, the players that we bought were maybe not the right players for now, which meant the optimism died pretty much straight away as soon as results have started to go bad. But Spurs have recruited so well. So when you add that in to a brand new clean slate with very low expectations, that, I think, is why Ange has done it. I've just been waffling for 3 minutes there. I'm sorry. This is a joint channel. I'm going to let you
You're
take
completely right.
the mic.
No, it's a very good point that you've mentioned, because it's going to lead on to what I want to say. We have to question the strategy then in that case, because what we spoke about in yesterday's video with Chelsea was in terms of what was going wrong, what could be going right, how do Chelsea move forward and whatnot. But if we're going back to the actual summer and the recruitment that was made, and you just mentioned that this could be recruitment for the future, if we've just solely done that, have we neglected the now? And is that strategy not correct? You know, when you look at the way Tottenham have recruited very, very well for now, and they've not recruited a huge amount, but they've got exactly the seeds that they've needed to plant. And it's just clicked. And you mentioned Harry Kane leaving Tottenham. We all thought that's it. Harry Kane's going to go off into the sunset and he's going to go and win some trophies for the first time in his life, and Tottenham are going to be in the mud, right? What's happened is, the Harry Kane looks like he's scoring goals from the halfway line and all sorts. He's smashing it in Germany. He's basically owning that country at the moment. But at the same time, Tottenham are looking like a Tottenham that we've not seen before. And that's without Harry Kane. So that could be a blessing in disguise. I thought Son would struggle. I thought he'd be like, oh mate, my best friend's gone. You know, the one guy that's good enough in this team, like me, and he's left, and now I'm all on my own. But in comes James Maddison, and boom, he's taken Son to another level. I mean, it's just crazy to look at the way Tottenham have done their business and the way that Ange Postecoglou has come in and had an impact from the get-go. That's why I asked in yesterday's video, how come Poch doesn't have that? But Ange can come in, a manager, I think, with many doubts that we all had in him. He's come in and it's just been breathless. It's been very easy, very straightforward. And credit to him. You mentioned Tottenham and the whole atmosphere that they have at the moment. It's just, it's never been seen in Tottenham. I think in many years have we seen optimism like this at Tottenham, and I don't blame them. They're sitting top of the league after 10 games. So, can they win the league? Can they go all the way? I have to be honest, it's still early, and all the signs right now are saying yes, they can. But when you get that Christmas period, that's where you're really gonna find out if you do have it in you to go all the way. I think Tottenham will face a tough spell at some point. They will lose games at some point. They're not going to go unbeaten, and that's where we're going to see the real Tottenham and what they're really about. So we'll see.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, maybe the definition of the real Tottenham is changing before our very eyes. Like, it's not like they've had
it could be
a load of easy games. Like, they've beaten Liverpool, they've beaten Manchester United, they've got a good result at the Emirates. Like, they're looking really good. And I think the problem is, like, the question is, can Tottenham win the league? As much as I obviously don't want this to happen, I've tried to be as balanced and rational as possible, because this isn't just a Chelsea channel. But the reason I don't think they can win the league is because I just think over 38 games, Man City will be too good. But that isn't to say that Spurs won't finish top 3. I think they will comfortably get third, maybe even second ahead of Arsenal at this point. But when I saw City against Man United, which is what this question at the start of this video is, can Spurs win the league? I changed my opinion on who I think is going to win the league based on that Man City performance at Man United, because what we saw again there was Pep Guardiola adjusting tactically, playing Bernardo somewhere different, and demolishing another so-called top team. And I just think with Spurs, there'll be a time, like you said, this season where they do go through a difficult run. And my question would be, is Ange going to be as adaptable? Is Ange going to be as moldable as Pep Guardiola can be? And I think the answer to that, and I'm hoping, is going to be no. So for that reason, I don't think Spurs can win the league. They can, but like,
I mean,
they won't.
to win the league, this is what you need to do, right? You need to be able to beat teams that you just know you should be beating. You know, we quoted Chelsea Brentford and talking about how for Chelsea that just should be a non-negotiable 3 points, right, at home.
Yeah.
If you're getting those results, right, and you're doing well against the big six and you're not fumbling those results, you're putting yourself in a position to win the league, right? Or you're putting yourself in a position to compete. And that's what Chelsea, I look at Chelsea and we have to use ourselves as an example. We used to be so efficient at that. We used to get the job done against all the teams that you expect to. But then against the top teams, at home, we would beat them. And away from home, we would look to get a point. But as long as we don't lose, job done. So you look at our record over the top six, or at that time the top four and all of that, our record was just flawless against those teams.
Yeah.
But against everyone else, it's a routine win. Tottenham right now are operating like that. They're beating everyone that they should be beating, but they did get the job done at home against Liverpool. They did get the job done at home against Man United. They did go to the Emirates and get a draw. Do you see what I'm saying? So the form that they're in is exactly the form that you need to win the league. Can they keep that up though? Look, the game on Monday is going to speak volumes. And I think as a football club, that could propel Tottenham to another level. That could also save Chelsea's season. So that's going to be a big game for both sides. But in December, they've also got to go to the Etihad. And that's going to be a big test for Tottenham. If they get a result at the Etihad, I think at that point we have to start really, really saying, no, you know what? This question of is there a possibility is now absolutely 100% yes, there is a possibility. It's just a matter of are they going to go all the way and do it? But the chances definitely increase if they get a result at the Etihad. So, look, they're doing very, very good things. They're doing very, very good things. And I hate to say it, but they deserve it.
The telling sign will be, like, how many of these videos will we make on this channel this year? Like, is this going to be the only one? Because, like, if Spurs now, let's say Chelsea do beat Tottenham, which we're going to obviously be hoping for, and let's say that first defeat is kind of like the bursting of the bubble, should we say, of a really, really good start to the season. If that happens, then obviously this is going to be the only time that we discuss this, because once Tottenham start to fall is when I think your Cities, probably even your Liverpools at this point, maybe your Villas, definitely Arsenal as well. I think those clubs, City I think have had their wobble. They've had their 2 away defeats in a row, 2 Premier League defeats in a row. Arsenal are also looking really good. So I think it's a case of like, how wobbly will Tottenham's wobble be? And is it a wobble that they can keep standing up within? And I think if they can do that and not have like a 3-4 game, losing 3 of those games run, then I think we might be doing this video again. Maybe once or twice. At the moment, it would be foolish to suggest otherwise. But then we've also got to remember they're bloody Tottenham Hotspur. All right? This is uncharted territory.
Hey,
you ain't going to keep it up.
You said earlier on the fabric of that name could be changing right in front of our eyes. It's a possibility. You never know. I'd like to think it's not, because it's Tottenham, and I've not seen that in my lifetime, and Tottenham fans have not seen that in their lifetimes, except for the very older generation that were there back in the 50s and the 60s, right? They saw Tottenham do something, but apart from that, none of us have seen them do anything. Up until now, perhaps it's a possibility. What I do want to say is a huge credit has to go out to Ange Postecoglou, because he's done one thing that I think, right, top managers should be able to do instantly, and that is get your message across to the players of how you want them to play, and your style of play becomes evident immediately. You look at Tottenham and you just know exactly what they're trying to do now. You can see Ange Postecoglou blueprint all over Tottenham this quickly. And that's credit to him, because that's the manager's responsibility. So huge fair play to Ange Postecoglou and what he's been able to do. I think he has surprised a lot of people, myself included, yourself probably, and everyone else watching. And this is where we're having these conversations and thinking, we got to probably start taking them seriously, because clearly he's a good manager.
Yep. It's so annoying, because like, as much as and people know I flipping hate Tottenham. I know you hate Tottenham as well, and if you are Chelsea fan, you should
in the
also
blood.
despise them. But like football is football.
And vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to be liked by Tottenham fans. You know, I don't want Tottenham fans to be watching my videos being like, oh, I think George speaks all right. I think George and Eunice are a good combo together. No, like this is football. This is tribalism. This is what it's all
they will
about.
say that, won't they?
Yeah, but like these are the days sometimes that we've got to have, Big Eunice. We've got to suck it up, drink it in, and just accept really that the times are changing. That's my final words on it, mate. To be honest, like I'm not enjoying this one whatsoever. Hit the like button though, and subscribe because if you like it, that's okay. It's a different story. I just don't feel very comfortable talking about this lot anymore because they're actually quite scary, genuinely.
I mean, look, I've said it on my channel. This game coming up on Monday, Tottenham-Chelsea, is huge for so many reasons. And for Tottenham, it's poetic. It's poetic. So make sure you're going to be here for the predictions video as we give you our thoughts on what we think is going to happen. And that will be out on Friday. That will be out tomorrow. So when you're looking at that game on Monday, why I say it's so poetic is because it's Tottenham-Chelsea. They both, realistically, over a long period have hated each other. Tottenham are top of the league, and they're 14 points ahead of Chelsea. Could be 17 if they win. That's just unheard of, by the way. Chelsea are 11th, right? It's crazy, I know. And they've got a manager like Ange's come in, and no one's expected them to do it. They're facing Chelsea under Pochettino, their old manager, at their own ground. I mean, it could be poetic for Tottenham. It's just absolute poetry for them to get a win on that day. I'd like to think that it could also be poetry if Chelsea under Pochettino were to go and stop a Tottenham in form like this. So it's going to be a bonkers game that means so much for both teams. So I'm looking forward to going into detail over it. And you guys be there for that.
Yes. Yeah. I've had enough, mate. Let's wrap it.
Nice one. Cheers, guys. Thank you. See you lot later.
Bye.